All right, things are adjusted and fixed, and we're live with some Summerland Enchantment 506. Let's quickly go ahead and roll right into the game. We're going to be playing a short one tonight, but I still wanted to bring us together because next week's a pause, and I don't want there to be a long pause. We're going to kind of figure out, after wintering in Camelot, what y'all are wanting to do. Do you want to have a chat first as a group, or do you want to do this a little more thematically, cinematically, and just let people branch off into their various priorities, whatever they might be, and we can figure out whether people told other people they did so or not as part of that. Is that better? Maybe that's better than just I
think that's good.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. Does anyone want to not be first? Raise your hand if you don't want to be first. Okay, I got 1, 2. Rebecca, are you? You're in a tiny window.
Yeah, everyone with Cyberbro.
Okay.
I have an idea, but I need to work out.
Chew on those. This is easy. I was going to start with Cyberbro anyway, so that works.
You didn't have a choice, actually.
Yeah.
The illusion of choice.
We knew it's scripted.
Right. Talk it over at the circular table. Okay, Cyberbro. What's Lucius up to?
I think Lucius would be preparing for a trip to update King Meteliad. He's been gone for a while, and it's important that he lets the king know that that Lucius is fulfilling his duties. He would have informed everyone, to include the Lord of Camelot, Leo de Grance, King Leo de Grance, that he would be leaving to update King Meteliad to the status of his mission, and he informed the gathering of branches.
Okay. We can just start with you arriving, so we see the city of Glevum ahead. And you aren't alone on this journey, unless you wish to be. The king, Leo de Grance, is traveling here as well.
Okay.
Not for other business.
So we're going in the same direction, one of those things. We're both going to the elevator.
Give me an intrigue test. Or courtesy.
Okay.
Mingling along the way.
All right. I am Roman, so that falls under law.
Law is a powerful skill.
Not tonight.
You didn't roll a 12. 12. 20. I need to go to sleep. So Lucius, you kind of mingle with him a bit on the road. You find out he's going to a wedding, and then eventually he tells you he's going to the wedding of the Baron Sir Collis and the Duchess Lady Helly.
Baron. Wow. I think Lucius's reaction is roll it. Amazing. Baron Sir Collis. I knew him for a time. We both served in Meteliad's court.
He's kind of putting that together. He's like, oh, right. Yeah, you were amongst them. Yeah.
Yes, one of the swords of Meteliad. I don't know if they go around calling themselves that anymore. I've been gone for a long while.
I remember a lot of distinct names distinct titles amongst it. I remember Sir Gwydir the Reckless. They called there was one they called the Dog Knight, and then there was one they called the Salt Knight. I don't know much about that.
Yes, well, you happen to be in the company, my lord, of the Salt Knight. I got that name for salting the fields during my first campaign. I'm Roman, you see. We have certain cultural idiosyncrasies.
I see. And then we'll zoom in. Why don't you give me a D10 roll real quick? If it's a 5 or under, we'll be rolling 2D100. 2D100, sir.
Ooh. All right, no problem. 2D100. What? One, and then another. Okay.
Oh,
37 and 73.
Yeah.
We auspicious.
Indeed.
There was a game I used to play called Chin. It was a like a Wuxia game. And you played with like a yin and yang dice. They were both 10s, and like there were all sorts of individual mechanics for like when they paired up, when they were opposites of one another, things like that. It was cool. Anyways,
That's
random
nice.
aside. It's a fun game. I recommend people give it a try, even though it's fairly old. If you want to do like a Dynasty Warriors thing with it, it's totally like the right game for that.
Oh, thick.
Okay. Understood. All right. You arrive, and we're going to kind of zoom in as you reach Ninteliad, who arrives here like a week. Basically, with your timeline, like, unfortunately, you realize, like, you told the gathering, I assume you told them you'd come back. You don't have to. We can play in vignette mode for a while if you need to, but were you intending to go back?
Yeah, I think I can't leave them alone for too long. You know, I think I wouldn't want to leave them alone for too long.
You don't want to see what happens when they're unsupervised?
Yeah, you know, if I'm not around, you know, just to bring a bit of levity, they're like, yeah, and think of the horses.
Right. Okay, so unfortunately, you're gonna have to miss your old friend's wedding, given your timeline, because you didn't know about it. Odds are you were likely invited, but you haven't been home to find out. So you get here when everything's setting up, and Ninteliad's one of the early guests to travel to Glevum. Give me a battle test.
All right, battle test. Hot tonight, man.
Those aren't bad.
Your hubris. Your hubris.
You're
I'm just calling it how I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of look around Glevum, and it seems like there are a lot of knights folding in. You get the impression pretty quickly on in your stay here that most of the knights aren't sure that there won't, like, they sort of prepared twofold. One, to go to a wedding. Two, for the possibility of a muster.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll note that up here.
Yeah. Just given the armaments and stuff, things they wouldn't bring to a wedding normally. And
Right,
these are
right.
all like, pretty much without exception, these are all Escavalon's bannermen.
The finest men to walk these aisles.
And then I'll get you to give me an intrigue roll.
Okay. I'll be using law.
Yeah. So you find out that Sir Sarav is present. That is I believe you were there for that session.
Yep, I was there for that session.
Okay.
Me and him hung out, like, yeah.
Yeah. So he would be a brother-in-law to the late Duke Eldul, who died at the unwritten battle of Summerland with the Mudlands. But no one from Clarence is present.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would ask him about that. Lucius is 26 now. He's he's all grown up, so he asked the poignant questions.
Who do you want to talk to? Natalia directly, you mean?
I would ask. I would make small talk with Sir Servitz before talking to King Natalia
Okay.
about it. You know.
Okay. So Saraviz is a grumpy bastard. You recall that in general. Just wanted to make that note because you haven't talked to him in a while.
Yeah.
But what do you inquire about? We'll assume you've been mingling for a couple of minutes here.
Mingling for a couple of minutes, I think. So Servitz, I noticed a distinct lack of men from Clarence. Is everything well on the home front? Are they running away from you again?
Those two will never get along. Not even under the same king.
Well, maybe one day.
My understanding is that Helly managed to convince her new husband to be that Kaelin should be off the invitation list.
Ooh. Seems like sides were taken in that situation. Wives, am I right?
He's like, why do you think I never got married?
Hey, I'm 26 myself. I may be right there with you.
All right. And yeah, that's kind of what you get from him. From there, we'll zoom in to Ninteliad, who you find is like, he's been set up in the actual castle of Glevin proper, where a lot of the knights are like tenting outside, or some of the like Saraviz has a villa that he's staying in. Yeah, I'm so almost all the cities are civitas, so they're old Roman cities, and I've decided that if you have a home inside that, we'll call it a villa. It'll be kind of like a manor, but it won't come with land, basically.
Right. Okay. So yeah, Lucius would come upon his king, and kneel.
He reads your face and he nods. I hoped we would talk soon. And then he motions for everyone to leave. Two are allowed to stay. So, nope, correction. One is allowed to stay. Kedrick, his steward, remains behind.
Steward. Okay. I haven't had too many interactions with him. No worries. So yes, I would inform King Natalia of the sum total of the events in the Summerland.
You did well to get the boy out, and I'm pleased to see that you've returned.
Yes, my king. I had a great deal of help from Lady Olwyn and members of her court. They have been steadfast allies.
Oh. Yes, I did receive news from Camelot. I think you did best not to reach me directly. Your absence from Summerland likely confused our enemies as much as it did our allies. And I think that's the best for now.
That makes sense. I do plan on returning to Camelot, and from there, with your wisdom, would you recommend anywhere to go from there, based on what you know about the greater Britannic geopolitical landscape?
I'm gonna out of character quickly step out and say this is Ninteliad speaking, so this is his opinion. He says, I think Camelot is perhaps one of the safest places to be at the moment. It's out of the way from most of our enemies. There is concern of the mountain men, but Cadell still holds true in the north. And so long as he is present, borders are protected. So Rain's production of the new tower at the border will help enforce any risk of that. Once more, it's far away from our enemies in the south and the north.
I appreciate your words, my king, and I will take that back to my allies in Camelot. It's been some time. It's hard to be away from friends and loved ones. Have you any news of my family? Out of character, stepping out of Lucius here. My mother's dead.
And you
Lucius
don't
doesn't
know.
know. Yeah. Lucius doesn't know. Cyberbro knows. Lucius doesn't know.
I'm going to test. Happy fun times, right, guys? What's that?
He's got to know. He's got to find out.
Yeah.
I know this is supposed to be a chill session, but he's got to find out. Like, I've been sitting on this for a while.
I'm going to test something for an Intelliad real quick.
He's going to do that leadership thing where I got to keep you focused on the mission. Like, everything's fine. There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
I regret to inform you of your mother's passing, Sir Lucius.
Long silence from Lucius. There's a face in the military that you kind of make when you're getting yelled at by your superiors or you're getting really bad news. It's that the meme from Starship Troopers, like desire to know more intensifies. He's making that face right now. So he's making that face and he says, "Oh, and was it peaceful?" If I'm not mistaken, out of character, it was bandits or something along those lines.
And that's why I did the loyalty vassal. So he closes his eyes and shakes his head. No. But we've apprehended the men. And they've been hanged.
As is proper, my lord.
Indeed.
I would ask for a letter for the King of Camelot that you might send him to maybe some sort of official terms regarding my stay there, just to make sure that he is aware that you know that I'm there under your orders and things along those lines. Obviously, he is aware of who the boy is as Merlin things, but I think something official with your seal on it would make things easier should questions begin to arise.
Very well. He ponders for a moment. You know, there's a point where I will pass and there will be an heir for me. I know not if that will be in the form of a new marriage. And then he looks to Kidrick. Or Kidrick. Cedric? I forget his name.
Yeah.
The steward. And he says, hold on. I can show these people. I have the power. One sec. Maybe I
have the power.
Right? Maybe we can do this. Yeah, there we go. He says, I know not if that will be with a new heir, or if that will be Sir Elaine. But I suspect that if a new heir is born, there will be a time gap. There will be a regent. He looks to Cedric and then says, and Elaine will need a constable. I will appoint you with the title of Deputy Constable. How is your horsemanship?
I will answer that in 1 second. Come on. My horsemanship is a 16, so famous. If we were to quantify it.
The famous, got it. He nods. He says, good. That's a good place to start. He looks to Cedric and says, please have him prepared with the right ceremony and sigil. We'll see the appointment done immediately, and then you may return with letter to our ally, Leo de Grants, and his family. The badge will serve you well should you pass through any lands, whether they be allies of ours or not, so long as you're mindful of being careful, especially with the boy.
I understand and I appreciate this boon from you. I will not fail you.
Very good. Okay. I think we'll phase out there. Is there anything you wanted to add to that?
No. He just got the news his mother died, so he's still in shock. So, no, I think he just rides out. He mingled. If he saw the source of the Telliad, he said hello, but he is visibly different after leaving the king this time. Then he rides off to his duty.
All right. Are you staying the night here, presumably?
No. How safe for the roads? How safe for the roads? Property value.
That's fair.
If the roads are relatively safe, he'll leave.
The roads are always less safe when it's nighttime. But they are well patrolled.
He rides off.
Okay. What's driving you, sir?
He doesn't want anyone in Glevin to see him cry.
Understood. would that be a pride thing?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a tick on love, family, and a tick on pride.
Okay.
Actually, no, don't tick pride. Test either pride or proud or modest.
Okay. Okay. Testing. We're gonna test proud first.
Okay.
Failed that. Modest test.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. No, that's okay. Tick modest instead. Yes, it's a pride thing, but it's driven from your love of family, not from your pride. All right. And from like your station of being a knight. I really don't have a lot to add to that because the random rolls you made was chase memory, and so I think you're kind of haunted by some dreams of her in your past and kind of reflecting. You're in your head a bit on the way home. We will even go as far as to say that you are melancholic. So, because I can trigger that on your behalf sometimes when bad stuff happens.
Makes sense.
The net of that is roll me a d6 and add 5 to it.
Okay. So the
7.
bonus can't. All right. Yep. 7.
7, and you get 25 glory.
All right.
You're at a -5 for these 7 days.
And that's all skills, right?
Yeah, but it's all rolls. Yeah.
All rows. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Character becomes one kind. Melancholic character suffers -5 to all skills, traits, and passion rolls. Odds are that won't go bad for you though, as there's no follow-up for your travel. You'll arrive back safely. You know what we will do? I mean, you're on main roads till you hit Camel Yard, but then Camel Yard has not less main road. I need to make a hunting roll. You get back to Camel Yard. Yeah. And that will have the -5 penalty.
Okay. -5. Oh,
which is interesting
man,
because normally you would have passed that. So it's kind of like you end up going past your mark and you remember too late and you go to turn around. And so with that, I want you to make another hunting roll. Keep going until you pass, put it that way. With hold on.
-5?
Before you do. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Now there's no more -5. So keep rolling.
My luck. I've lost it.
And keep rolling.
Okay. My luck is returned.
You make it back in nine days. Not bad. So you won't be melancholic when you're back. Maybe it's like an opportunity, right, where you sort of recollect your head. It's like it was almost like nice to have that time and space away, as much as getting lost sucked.
Yeah. Definitely.
So when you're back, you won't be melancholic.
Okay.
We will go. Is anyone volunteering to go first? If not, I'll roll randomly.
I could go.
Okay.
So, knowing absolutely none of what has transpired with Lucius, obviously. I think Olwen's motivation right now is to try and figure out a good spot to settle down. And she is brainstorming on all of like the places that she knows, anywhere that she might have some sort of claim, anything that she could try and take care of. Like, do I reach out to Rianne? Do I try and, look into my old, like, the Salisbury Manor, to that other place that Melior had? You know, he's just.
So I will say this. Summerland is kind of under a iron curtain for you as far as you could send out. You just would have to tell me how you're getting in touch with someone in Cornwall. Summerland, Cornwall occupied Summerland.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Like, so I'm kind of leaning towards well, I do know one place that's not Summerland, technically.
Okay.
So just figure out how to go about that.
What do you want to do? Do you want to send somebody? Because you could like hire a messenger. You could.
Yeah.
You could play at the damsel and find a knight, a sucker that's willing to do it on your behalf.
Isn't there one who's super in love with her now?
Wouldn't say in love. Say.
Oh yeah, from last time, right?
Yeah.
ETF, but not in love. Yeah.
Is that a knight term formally?
Indeed.
It is now.
Wasn't there also a horrible understanding at the end of last episode where he?
Yeah,
yes, he thinks he proposed.
He thinks.
Yeah, he for sure thinks y'all are a done deal.
Yeah, but I have to be extremely desperate when I call on it, because he's just gonna do one favor for me.
Oh, so God!
In Owen's understanding.
Do you happen to have his name handy?
It was I had it and then I lost it. I do remember. It was greed. It's greed. Or grade. Greed or grade.
Grade, yeah, grade. I like grade.
Is it rhymed with? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Do you want... So, there is a thing... I'm going to do this more formally, but for now, I think the lady mechanic, this makes good sense. For every 10 points of appeal you have, you can offer a gratitude. So effectively what this is mechanically is it's like a boon in vampire would be a good way to explain it. Think of it like where I'm gonna bring this mechanic out more formally is in romance period, but it's that idea of a questing knight questing on behalf of a lady with no promise other than a gratitude, right? I think it would be fine given this is the one game where we have an actual like lady who that's their main thing. I think that would be a good place to start, like a noble lady of the court. So you could offer him a gratitude. I mean, he would be able to cash in that gratitude to receive a favor in, your favor, but not necessarily your love or your romance or anything. It might be as simple as recognition or this or that kind of thing. Like,
sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
To trigger this, I'd say and I'll give you a choice of what to test for this. I think it either is flirt, honest, or honor. Or courtesy. I'll accept courtesy too.
And this would just be testing honor, but not impassioning with honor.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Mm. I think she's gonna go courtesy.
Okay.
I'm good at flirting. I almost upped it. It's like, I'm not gonna flirt. What? Success.
Okay. Sir Grade will absolutely accept your request. So he will ride to, where do you send him to Salisbury? It's probably as much as you know. As far as
if it's
you know your manor name and you know Salisbury.
It's in Milkfield. So.
Right. Yeah. But I don't think you know like administratively who you touch base with there, right? Like
No.
Yeah. So he'll ride to Sarum. I think that's probably what makes the most sense. All right. And you'll want to make a note of that gratitude on your sheet somewhere.
What, one gratitude?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
it's
So
one of your
automatic.
what is your app? Is it 30 or is it
30?
Yeah, so you can have up to 3 gratitudes.
Okay.
So
like up to 3 active at once before they
active at
turn them in.
once.
Got you.
Yep.
Perfect.
And then if they turn that in, then it becomes back to 2. Yeah. And then the person receiving a gratitude has a benefit with you, basically. So.
And just a mechanic question: is this per person you get a gratitude toward, or is this overall? It's not going to be
three
just curious.
So you'll have as a knight, you'll be able to go, and when I put this mechanic in, what I'm thinking is it'll be equal to your it'll be based on your glory. So if you have like 3,000, then you could have up to 3 gratitudes at your 3 quests. Like if we look at Cyberbro's a good example. If we had Cyberbro running around offering his oaths, and we were to call each of those oaths a gratitude, he could have gratitude up to his glory. So, what's your glory?
My glory is 35, 16.
So you could have up to 3 active at once, and then once you cashed in one, that would no longer count. So there's a gratitude mechanic. I'll be pulling it over from Banners. It's Wick's game that he based off of. It's almost like a Pendragon hack, but I think it's really good for this notion, and I want to make it something special for romance period. But I think since we have a lady now who definitely plays into the concept of being sort of the Guinevere type, that archetype, or it makes sense to do gratitude as a mechanic for you.
Happy to test it out.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
So he'll ride off. Roll me a d10, Rebecca.
Two.
And 2d100.
$43 and $27.
Okay. Let's see how long Grade's gone for. He's gonna be gone longer than you, Lucius. He's gone for 23 days. So we'll end your scene there. Oh, unless there's anything you wanted to do.
That was the only thing that I really had planned.
Okay.
because I know that Beatrice wants to settle down, but I know that we can only like realistically stay here for so long.
Understood. Beatrice.
Oh God.
We
Okay.
roll randomly. You got a 1 on a D2. I flipped a coin for you, Nicole.
Oh. So Beatrice's plan is kind of a lack of a plan.
Yep.
She's focusing really hard because, like, at this point, like, she had reiterated it at the end of the last episode. She was tired. So I think right now, and you know, she's kind of dealing with the aftermath of I saved part of the people, not all of them. So I think right now what she's focusing on is just solely on like keeping the kids okay, like focusing on her family specifically. So Cadwigan, Morwenna, the acolytes who are effectively her wards. And she's diving into that aspect. She'll like practice with the acolytes in secret, but very seldom because we're trying to keep it under wraps.
Okay.
But very focused on family kind of aspect of it.
All right. I will get you to roll me a D10.
Okay. I knew that wasn't the most exciting one ever,
No.
but that was the plan that she had.
Well, you're going to have a very non-curveball-y kind of encounter. So, is there any NPC you want to zoom in on? Anything you want, like as far as a role play interaction for the vignette? I imagine you found like a small grove that's slightly out of the way of Carrowhage, which is the name of the castle town. Imagine you found like a grove in the forest somewhere that makes, you know, if you're going to practice, probably not being in the middle of the castle is probably a good idea.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Yeah.
As far as NPCs, I don't think she's like, I mean, Cadwigan, obviously, but the like Cadwigan acolytes, I think she's tried to make friends with the lady of the house because like that's a good friend to have. And also has a daughter, so
Interesting.
but I think that's one of the things there.
You could do that. I'm trying to remember. I have her name. I forget what it was.
I can scroll up and try and find it. So we definitely met her.
Yeah, we can always refer to her as the queen. I just forget what her name is right now. It was something like mundane. Anna? Was that it?
Maybe?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then they have Guinevere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I said mundane. The moment I said that, I was like, Anna.
Because I also
Her?
low key had last session we had Beatrice had kind of found common ground with the king, oddly enough, on the fact of like we have kids. Like it's the parent thing of like we have kids, we collectively understand this experience. Where like she has a 4-year-old, they have an 8-year-old, and it's like, look, adorable child. But yeah, I think she tries her best to make herself useful and to make friends with the queen in general, because, you know, we're staying here for a bit.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I'm gonna give you a couple of tests.
Let's do it.
Courtesy.
One of them's gonna be courtesy, and I'm gonna cry. Literally right before the session, I was like, should I level up courtesy? Nah, I don't use it. Yeah, that seems accurate. She's not courteous.
Yeah, it wasn't a fumble though. Honest.
Why can't I find honest? I'm so
It's
sorry.
one of your traits.
I found it. Lucius, why did you take all the good rolls? I'm mad at you.
The luck, I need it.
I know you
things
don't.
me.
Nom, nom, nom,
You
nom,
don't
nom,
need
nom.
it. I'm just trying to make friends, man.
Right.
I just want to make friends.
And what would this be?
What else can I fail, Bob? Do tell.
Test hospitality.
I don't. Do I have hospitality?
think
I don't have
technically-
hospitality.
It would be a passion on your sheet. Like
Bob,
under,
I have a 1. So you really said, what can we have Emily fail? What else can she fail? Yeah, and a shock to know when I failed it. I have a 1.
okay.
I want Owen to swoop in and save you so bad.
She was okay. I would like to just preface something. Beatrice was open with this woman from the beginning that she is not highborn. I would just like to point it out.
Yeah. I think what you get from her is that she is.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think she's polite, she's nice, she's courteous, she's hospitable. But you feel like you ever encounter those people that feel a bit fake? Her walls.
That would be it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she's in the grove, she's hitting something. This is such a frustrating experience for her.
The last thing I'll get you to test is sight.
Yeah. Crit.
Okay. It's huge.
I'm a ticket.
Yeah. You start to notice something though when you're spending time with her and her daughter Guinevere. That little faint bit of magic. Give me a recognize +10, actually.
That was another thing. I was like, should I put points in? Nah. Owen's got it. This still is not a good chance. Oh my god. We succeeded.
Well, that would have been a crit, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Without the
that
10?
would have been a crit.
Okay.
I have a 3.
We'll count it. We'll count it as not like we won't give you crit points, but you can tick it. You realize how much Anna resembles the Lady of the Land, and you start to realize that faint glimmer of magic. You remember the arc of magic leaving her body and heading west. In your mind, you start to think about what would be west of Forest Sauvage. And like as you peer closer into this little girl, you realize that it's more than just a faint bit of power there. It's innate. It's not the sight. It's something very different.
Yeah.
It's closer to what you might describe as someone you've seen who's been blessed. Vivian, for example.
Yeah.
Or Nimue. But it's more powerful somehow.
Yeah. I think Beatrice specifically right now, I think that brings her some sort of comfort, but I think as of right now, Beatrice comes off a little frustrated in general.
Yeah.
Just like generally frustrated.
And I can see Cadogan doing one of those, everything all right? And like no response. He's like, I'll just be over here. And
she's like hitting a tree with like something. And he's like, yeah, my wife.
Yeah, Beatrice in a good mood when she's chopping wood. So,
but yeah, I think Beatrice is having a hard time. I think Beatrice is
fish out of the water
not
a bit, right?
super social and super frustrated and not a happy person.
Give me an endurance test. Let's see if you're
A
tired
what?
too. Endurance. Let's see if you're
Oh,
tired.
great. I don't even know where that is.
Like Constitution?
Con,
Con?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, Bob, I don't know where endurance is.
I don't think I've even. I don't think
I
I've
have
even
the con
played
of a
it.
knight in a teeny
Hey.
tiny little body.
Make an energetic or a lazy root test your choice. Whatever you're either gonna pass the first one or you're gonna roll the second one and try to pass that one. So okay,
Success.
all right, you can tick energetic. I think you're starting to feel restless a little bit. Because remember, you were the one that was like, "Can we just stay put for a little bit?"
Yeah.
But
everybody's moving, and
Yeah.
no one here likes me.
Yeah, you're starting but you're also starting to recognize, oh, okay, I'm feeling better though. I'm not tired. Like your energy is coming back probably for the first time in a long time. You haven't had to invoke any spells in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think. She is where she is right now. Poor
fair.
Beatrice. I had hoped she'd be in a better spot during this episode, but it's the way the dice are rolling. She not. She in the exact same spot I left her in.
And there were no curveballs on your plot, so we won't, focus on anything.
I'm exactly the same.
Hey. What were we doing to determine how you're leading your acolytes though?
I don't know. My thing right now is that she's avoiding doing it entirely. So like
Oh, I thought you said you were training them.
So like very seldomly, because we're not in a fun area.
Gotcha.
So very seldomly. She's been working on her own thing on summon fairy creature, banish fairy creature, travel.
Mhm.
If she teaches them anything, it's protection is what she focuses on, given
Okay.
the current state of affairs.
All right.
Like
You said you're-
theoretical magic. Just like
What?
just like magic theory, like reading about
Magic
it.
theory. It's theoretical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me. You said that you were working on. What did you mean by working on those spells?
However, I get spell skills up wherever she practices.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
Okay. Roll all three of those. Then.
Roll all three?
Yeah, we don't really zero in on this a lot for you, so you're very
No,
rarely.
we don't. That's why I was like, I don't know how she normally does it. There's gonna be a lot of failures because they're all very low. Oh, well,
Mufadwi.
no. The last time I ended up, no, absolutely not.
So mean.
You find somebody else to do it.
Oh,
Where is the other one? There it is. Okay. Can't find things on my own sheet. Yeah, I figured.
Okay. You end up with a new fairy that you've summoned you can't banish. That's
No, God, please no. I can't do another one. I can't do it.
It sounds like
No.
WBO.
The goblins can stay
Hey.
wherever they went. I don't.
hey, Beatrice, what up? What
No. No.
Got a lot of tasty
Absolutely
trash in
not.
here.
Absolutely not.
Hey, you got a light?
Okay.
She will riot.
Sorry.
No, you're good. We will get you to do a last sight test. I want to see something real quick. You can tick summon fairy creature, by the way.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay. That's huge. So you
All
are.
of my luck went into 2 rolls. It
Yeah.
said you get 2.
They were both sight.
They were both sight. They
So
said you won't make any friends, but
tick. tick travel and navigation, geological navigation.
Yeah.
Tick travel and geological navigation.
Yep.
You find a ley line not far from the grove, outside of Carohag. Where is Carohag? There we go. There is a small... No, you know what? I think to practice that, it's like one of those ones where you set out on like a couple of day rides. So this would be something with like you and Cadogan and your acolytes. You travel to the Oraquilines, which is a civitas. It's kind of like more of a fallen one at this age. But you manage to find the river, and you're able to cite that this is the river that you traveled on. A different fork of the same river.
I would like to petition that I don't bring the acolyte.
You don't bring acolyte? Okay.
Because Beatrice and Cadogan have not had a moment alone. I feel like she was banished to another realm, and then it was immediate acolytes running for our lives.
That's fair. So this could be your own mission. When you're out here at the river, you're kind of like working on it, and you're realizing this would be a lot easier with a teacher. And you're kind of standing up to like your knees in the water, right? And it's very shallow water. And you begin to hear like a voice on the wind. And you hear it say, "Hello? Is anyone there? Give me a recognize +5.
I really need to put some points in to recognize. It's really bad.
Actually, you got sight 18, right? I'll give you a +10 on this one. Yeah, I think...
I don't hate me. They hate me so much.
That is sad. Let's see if anyone cashes in for you. Give it a second. Barring that, assuming no one does cash in on the advantage.
It's okay.
Yeah, what this will mean is like you've had enough like bad shit happen where you hear a voice in the wind, you're like, nope, I'm just no more. Oh, nope, you got an advantage. Yep.
Thank you.
We'll see if it changes.
Right?
Yeah. We shall see if your luck changes.
Once again. I'm so sorry. My brain short-circuited and forgot what I was doing for a second.
+10 on a recognized test.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a fumble, so I'll take it.
It's not a fumble, okay. So I think you have that same immediate reaction. You're like, no, like time to go. And Cadogan's why? And you're like, time to get out of here. Like,
I'm not doing this.
Yeah. And you end up riding back with Cadogan. You guys end up stopping in Oraquilines for the night. And while you're there, you close your eyes for a moment. Give me a divination test. If you have that on your talents.
I do. It's very low, but I got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No
that's par
pass.
for the course.
Yep. We will say that for a brief second, you kind of close your eyes and you hear the hello, and you see Ackland walking around in darkness. And then you kind of like come to.
I think she gets up. Like, she fully just gets up. Like, no. I'm taking a walk.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, she'll get up and take a walk kind of thing. If Cavigan doesn't wake up, he doesn't wake up. And kind of a, like, why is this always me?
Let's see if he wakes up. No, I'm gonna say he's sleeping. He has
He's
a pretty good
gone.
awareness, but I would have given him a -5, so I'd say he failed. Because he's sleeping, and it's there's no worry of threat right now.
Yep.
Okay, and from there,
Oh,
there's no extra curveballs, so we're gonna kind of move on from your vignette there. You obviously take sight, and yeah, I think that's good. Okay, we'll go to Elian.
So, Elian doesn't have a whole lot to do now. Lucy's been on to Intelliate alone, so she is mostly training Mindwin and Finnegan, is I think how she spends most of her time. Also, I think she occasionally teaches Morwenna and Taliesin because she's convinced that these 4-year-olds have the hearts of knights. By which I mean she gives them like a stick.
Yeah. Dodge rock. All right, here we go. This is a big one. Make sure you get out of the way. Yeah.
Do not throw rocks at my child.
Dodge rock.
Yeah.
Do not throw rocks at my child.
Allison
Beatrice is on a thread this thin. Like,
No, they have to learn the basics of swordsmanship first.
yeah. Beatrice has learned the skill of vaporize.
But I think she's, well, no, the King of Camelot also kind of left for a while. So I think she's mostly just trying to find a way to make herself useful.
Yeah.
So would the next person to be his wife, Queen Anna?
It depends on who you want to. So you could definitely. What are you thinking there? Maybe elaborate a little bit more. I'm not quite following regarding Queen Anna.
Well, either Queen Anna or whoever their head knight is, which is like, what can I do? I need a job.
Okay, you're seeking busyness and purpose.
Yeah, because she's like, Olwen is perfectly safe here, as is, the children, and Cadigan is with Beatrice, so they're fine. And they're not going anywhere dangerous as far as she knows. So she just needs something to do outside of training children.
Roll me the following skills real quick. Horsemanship.
I closed my sheet right before we started because I'm clever.
You're all good. I do that all the time when I'm playing. Spear or Kimry spear, whatever you have, or lance, depending on how you did it. It should be that high, so that's perfect. And sword. Okay. You can tick all those as you have good practice with Finnegan, with Mindwin, and with sort of just mentoring the boys kind of more in a playful capacity, or the children rather, in a more playful capacity. Now I will get you to test energetic. Tick that as well. And then roll me a d10. All right, and 2d100. And why don't you just roll me 2d100 more, because I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to work.
I just realized I had the wrong button pushed. 24 and 74 and 40 and 26.
Okay. Perfect. You find out that with Leo de Grant's away, keep in mind this is a kingdom, right? So it's not a small amount of knights. There seems to be a very small muster gathering, and you show your interest to that. I'm gonna give one of the knights name Gwillegid.
Gilligan.
Gwillegid.
Really good.
He can be from anywhere. Oh, from the Saxon shore. Gwillegid is a knight who's found his way into some level of competence in Camelot. And effectively, there is an old forest hill, like what do we call those?
No.
A glen? A knoll?
It's like Earthworks Castle. I forget what it's called. Call it a mound for sake of ease. It's like the remnants of a early, probably 1st century Earthworks keep, but it's
I know what you're talking about.
It's fallen to ruin, and there are raiders plaguing the place on the map called Stafford in the forest, and they seem to be driving out of that. Like they seem to be fighting from Stafford. That's where the bandits are using. They've effectively taken it as their own little home base, this abandoned ruins site, and they've made a bit of a hideout out of it. So the men are gathering because Leo de Grants is gone right now, and it looks like a convoy of knights is going to go out and try to wipe out that base.
I would kind of like to join them.
Okay. Yep. Can be done.
Is this the kind of thing you would bring squires on?
Who is your Minewin?
Yeah.
People will.
13, though.
Oh, no, you probably wouldn't want to bring Minewin then.
Yeah, she's only 13.
Yeah.
Hopefully Finnegan is not going to try and go.
I'm going to say that he doesn't hear about it because I feel like people are going to get really mad at Elian.
Yes. Yeah, Elian doesn't want him to go. She's like, please tell me he doesn't hear about it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll assume. Pick a number between 1 and 10. And if I roll the exact number you state, then he finds out about it.
Damn it. 5.
Uh-oh.
No, he doesn't. It's one of those things where like you guys ride out and it's like you see him like looking out from his window like where are those knights going? Like
we're just gonna go practice. You stay there.
He doesn't hear you at all. Like you're far away. So
I don't even see him.
Yeah.
They're just doing rounds in a very large group.
Because this is like no one knows exactly where this hill fort. Good God, I couldn't think of it. Where this hill fort is. They bring hunting hounds, and of course you don't have hunting hounds, but you do have hunting. So you guys are like just doing your best to try and locate this place. Why don't you give me a hunting roll? You help locate the trail that leads to this, and you launch out as a convoy on this thing at night. So I'm going to get you to give me the following tests: battle, horsemanship, or dex if you want to be on foot rather than on horse. Not a fumble. That's okay. All right. And weapon skill of your choice. All right. Good deal. One failure. You take 9 wounds out, like through your armor and shield, like as a cumulative, like through the fight. Maybe you take an arrow. Otherwise, you are left unharmed. And you get 45 glory. I think you fight well enough to where people are pretty impressed with you here. So like they haven't really seen you do anything yet, and they're kind of like, who's this random knight that showed up with the others? But you proved yourself through hunting and through your battle caliber. What we will say is it was very evident that you aren't used to formal battle orders. You're a little rusty on riding in any form of formal military unit. So, but otherwise it goes really well. And
there was like 4 of us in the last battle. Okay.
Yeah, right. I fought with dozens. There were dozens of us. Dozens. Yeah.
And by dozens, I mean 4.
Yeah. So, as we kind of bring this to a close, we're gonna get you guys to do a quick conversation. We'll assume that everyone's back together. Sir Grade has returned for Olwen. You find out that there is another petitioner for your father's manor.
One of my other siblings survived?
No, and in fact, the petitions, they give you the guy's name, and they mention 2 manors by name. One manor is your father's old manor, and the other is Sir Luth's manor.
I thought Sir Luf was dead.
Yeah, and the petitioner is not named Sir Luf.
Yeah. Sir Daffod? Or Daffod someone else?
Daffod's someone else. I do have him. I just don't remember his name right now.
Yeah.
Names are like my enemy at the moment. So, brain no working.
What do you want to be?
But the young Earl has offered to meet you and speak with you about it, given the, quote, troubled time that you've fallen upon in Summerland.
That would be lovely. I would love to treat with him.
Sir Grade says, I would be happy to escort you if my lord allows it.
Happily. Always
Right,
good to get to know a potential knight better.
You honor me, he says. And then he won't be creepy. We'll stop him from
Good.
yeah. He avoids being creepy. So we're gonna get the gang together, but anyone that rolled less than 3 things can probably make some rolls. So I'm just going through here. I think Lucius had a fair amount of rolls. I know Elian did. No, Beatrice did. Did Olwen?
Courtesy.
Yeah. What were you maybe You know what? I think to some degree, even though the other ones don't matter for this, I'm gonna assume, based on what you said you were kind of focusing on, it was probably you can test hospitality and test flirting if you wanted to.
Oh.
Yeah.
F.
Wow. Yeah.
I know, right?
That's the role you need in winter phase.
I succeeded on like
Everything. I hate those years. I did that once. I had
Oh my god.
insult to injuries when it rolls 1 over what you need too.
Just the bare failure.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think canonically Owen is not the best at flirting.
No.
Especially,
No. That's kind of funny, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think that's about it. Sorry.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Is there some kind of like politics?
Yeah. Do you have
I don't know
diplomacy
what
on your sheet?
I do have diplomacy.
It's probably super low. Yeah.
It's a 10, yeah.
Oh, that's not bad. 10. Most people have like 2 or 1, so.
Yeah, I think I upped it a couple times. Should I roll that?
Yes, yeah, please.
Okay. Everything.
Okay, and then stewardship is your last test.
You.
Luck, I need it.
Yum, yum, yum. Hell yeah. All right.
You could probably assist Lady Anna if you wanted to with kind of the, as like from a guest point of view, like helping out with the castle and stuff. So.
Yeah. Might even talk up Beatrice a little bit.
Right. Go ahead and take this staff. And Maeve will do like a 5 or 10 minute, like just you all back together.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be roughly a month after Lucy is set out. It's probably like
at least 23 days.
Yeah. I'm thinking that it's probably like, we'll go like 31 because some of those are probably long. So we're probably moving into after probably May.
Oh no.
You went push to talk.
Sorry, graded took like 23 days to get back. Is what
right.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is over a month, but you guys are in the middle of May, mid to late May, rather.
Have I healed at all?
Yeah. I mean, you're probably
like 4 weeks. Or Sundays.
Yeah, that would have happened early on, like 9 days in. You rode out, and then 13 days you returned. So you would have 2 Sundays of healing, and then you can roll. You can roll Mindwinds. Actually, Mindwind's not a squire yet. You will need someone to do first aid on you. Who do you want to choose? You can't first aid yourself. I think that is an Olwen thing, if you want to bother Olwen with it.
Olwen's got pretty good first aid.
One of the other knights could try to do it as well.
Yeah, I think she comes back and then she's just like cut up. She's got like an arm and a sling and she's like, we had a good time.
So reckless. You want me to take
I
a look
made
at that?
myself useful to our host.
She quirks an eyebrow. Do you want me to take a look?
Sure, I don't think there's any infection.
Sit.
She's like, cut the arrow so it's not protruding out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we'll deal with this.
I've learned not to pull them out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. It's a simple
So
enough
boiling.
wound, just an arrow wound. Didn't hit anything vital. So Olwen, you're able to.
Question. I don't remember. How many points do you get back per Sunday?
Olwen gets your healing rate per Sunday, and then Olwen can make a D3 roll for extra.
3.
Oh, nice.
I'm good at this, you guys.
Lucky.
That takes me all the way up.
Okay.
Because I
Yeah.
lost 9.
So you probably still have the bandage on, and it's just like a superficial wound at this point, but no actual damage. Like like basically you're waiting for the scabbing to heal. Yeah. All right,
I
and with
guess,
that,
yep.
we'll
Sorry.
we'll set this in the courtyard. I'll just pick a place for you. Yeah.
Okay, if you guys are seeing Lucius after his journey, he's not melancholic, but he's very focused. There is a definite change in him.
All
But-
is well.
Things are never better. I've received a promotion. I am the deputy constable of Escavalon. Here's my pendant.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sick.
Oh, wait. Also, King Nateliad has recommended that we stay here. We are far from our enemies in the south and the north. So, for the time being, that is his recommendation based on his current knowledge.
Recommendations are all well and good, but I imagine King Leodegrance must have some sort of say in that. Resources are not,
And that's what
no?
the letter is for. I would assume upon the king's return. Oh, sorry. You got you kind of froze there a little bit for me. I didn't hear you. You kind of froze.
Oh, you
Is this
froze
better?
for us.
You froze for us.
There
Are
we
you
go.
right?
Oh. Okay,
Yeah.
can you guys hear me now? Or?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It
Am I in the
was just
Matrix?
like a little hiccup, and yeah.
But yeah, Lucius pulls out the letter. I would assume that this letter will support us in our stay here, should we so choose as a collective.
Suppose until we have more concrete plans, it is well to do so in the meanwhile. If that sits well with the rest of you.
I don't think we have a better option currently.
That
We're
is true.
far away from Cornwall, which is nice. We're close to Nateliad if we have to run.
I am to meet with, I believe, an earl in Sarum?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
I'm to meet with the earl in Sarum regarding potentially securing a manor. My old manor in Milkfield, Salisbury. Should we need it?
My concern. We'd be right back in front of Cornwall, and Cornwall does not like us. And we would be back in the path of someone looking for a certain young man.
As for later. But it wouldn't be Somerset, and it would be something that was ours again. If we need it, it is best to have a contingency, no? Somewhere to go should all else fail. I don't want to be lost again. Especially with Taliesin and Morena. They need somewhere stable.
If you want my personal opinion,
Always.
I wouldn't take Morwenna there. It's too close. I mean, who's to say Cornwall doesn't decide Salisbury's next? They can't stand. They're not that big, and we were bigger, and
Then Salisbury.
I mean, generally we're bigger. Am I wrong? Did I imagine that? I'm zooming out.
Salisbury is probably. I mean, hell, if Beatrice would know, right? First off,
That's valid. Well,
yeah.
you know.
Geographically, probably larger.
Oh,
Right?
never mind. I lied.
They didn't have magic on their side, though.
Right?
Emily doesn't know what she's talking about.
You're good.
They don't
Retcon.
have magic or a cool forest. It would
And they do
be
have
several step
knights.
downs. Who really wants to live in Salisbury? Ugh. But also, it is land that we have a relatively decent claim on, and otherwise it would go to
Yes.
Sir Luke's brother.
I'm just a
Ugh.
little concerned about the proximity. I mean,
Understand.
where we were wasn't that far. We just got away from Syagrius and Cornwall,
Hey,
and I don't know how eager I am to move towards them again.
Granted.
hey, Bob. I don't think I wrote this down, but what is the name of the land and manor that is technically Elias?
St. George?
I know it's in the mountains. It's like in the boonies of
Yeah,
Estable.
I don't know if we established
I don't
it.
know
It's
if we
probably in
can do
our
it.
Google. It's probably in our Discord. So we'll search the Discord chat between us. If we can't find it, we'll make it up. I don't think we've put it on screen ever. So
It's
No,
just
I
my
just
manor.
have a Faerie tribe, and that's pretty much all I wrote down about it.
Yeah.
And we're frequently raided by the Irish.
but you could simply refer to it as my father's manor if you need to like speak to it while we look.
Yeah. I just want to remind you that we do have my father's manor. But currently I have a legitimate hold, and Minewood is the heir.
Wait. Well, that's something. Sure.
And it's
And that's where
far
we
from
sent Sir
Cornwall.
Dogged and Lady Elaine, right? Were there hold up at the moment?
They went
No.
to
Marsh.
They went to the marshes.
Hmm.
They're in the marshes. I don't know if we'd be able to
They went with
get to
Cadbury.
them. I mean, I suppose you could try and send someone, although I don't know how successful that would be.
That is a
Back into the fog.
yes.
I think we're all in agreement that, while not ideal at the moment, Zarum could be potentially a middle term or long term option once this business with Cornwall is complete.
Yes. If the Earl is even willing to.
Oh, and let's be
Right.
honest, you bat your lashes at pretty much anyone and they'd be willing.
I don't think that's true.
I mean, you could have them talk to me, but that would be less effective.
I mean, assuming they're into women.
Valid enough, but still, Owen's persuasive.
Thank you.
Okay.
I-
Go ahead.
No, it's fine.
If you have an in-character comment, please go ahead.
Do we know how much this king actually likes us?
He really likes Finnegan.
Well, that goes without saying.
King Leo de Grance is an ally of King Nateliad, and a man of high honor. I do not think he would have let us stay for the duration we've been here had he not been willing to or liked us. Furthermore, he's had dealings with Merlin in the favor of the boy. So,
Oh.
for these purposes, he likes us.
And if we continue to make ourselves useful, help out where we can, suppose pull our own weight around.
Maybe dust our shoes off before we go into the Grand Hall.
Oh, and you'll find this interesting, maybe Alien as well. His daughter. Do you remember the Lady of the Land? Melis's mother.
The old woman?
I do.
That girl is the new one.
I think Olwen has this moment of like full realization as the geometry floating in her head as like she realizes, oh shit, like that would make sense. All of the life force was floating west into the castle, into the girl.
Lady of the Land, you say?
So, Owen, you talked about going where we were destined to go. You've now met the Lady of the Land again.
Well then, suppose
I told you staying here would be fine.
look, you get really annoying when you're correct sometimes.
Lucius, the Lady of the Land, was a queen. But
Like the Mud King.
something like that, but a better version of it. She was a queen in a fairy realm. Fairy-ish. Or a
The Forest
savage. It's a
Savage.
weird... It's an odd line.
It wasn't.
It is a magical occurrence. She died in front of us. And because her essence was going somewhere else. The power was going somewhere else. That little girl is where the power was going. So she's the new Lady of the Land. It's a very confusing thing. I'm not sure if I fully understand it.
And if I remember correctly, she wasn't Fae herself, just
No.
blessed by it.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one would be the same.
Right, so.
That's how Melwis ended up looking, how he looks when Cadwy looks the way he looks. No offense to Cadwy.
Folklore from Elian, Beatrice, and Olwen.
Let's go.
Bob, I'd remind you that I have an 8 in fairy lore now.
Oh, baby.
He really wants to use that fairy lore.
Right.
Hey,
there will be uses in Summerland Enchantment. I promise that will not go without. But this is just a specific recall from a previous event.
I
Okay.
actually succeeded.
Yeah, all three of you did. I think you all kind of realize that Guinevere's age, that would have been like right around her birth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like that event would have happened as she was. I'm just explaining for separate. That event would have happened right as Guinevere's birth year.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, an interesting point of order. Also, I'm right, but you know.
Look, but yes, I've already acknowledged it. I love you.
Listen, I have very few wins these days. I'll take them where I can get them.
Fine. I acknowledge and accept it.
But I think keeping an eye on the girl wouldn't be a bad thing.
It would be good to perhaps be present should she notice certain things about her. Someone somewhat versed in magic and someone of specific lineages. Answer any questions that she might have. If she feels that it's nervous, speak to parents. You know how it can be. Not being disparaging, of course, but children sometimes.
Oh, and I'm shocked. Are you admitting we should stay here?
I said that if all yes.
You've been fighting tooth and nail in your own way to not be here.
I wanted to protect the boy, and I thought maybe. But you are
And London and Salisbury were your two choices.
I'm not smart, alright? Is that what you want to hear, Beatrice? You want me to admit that I have my head in the clouds and I'm in over my head at the same time?
I just think it's funny.
I was going to say, I was very concerned about your plans to go to Sarum.
Yeah.
Eventually,
Lucius?
we will need to leave. We will need our own place. What? It seems that it is not this time. Still, I wouldn't mind taking it away from Salif's brother if we have the opportunity because, fuck Salif even in death. He's an asshole. But
Lucius, you said that Nantelli had made it so that we could stay.
My king has given me a royal letter to give to King Leo de Grands. When I asked for said letter, I asked him to send it with the intent of acknowledging that I and my allies, you all, are here with his blessing and favor. One king to another type of thing. You don't want your knights to just be squatting, for lack of a better phrase, in another king's castle. So it is my hope upon receipt, King will allow us to stay here.
We should take it to him then. I think I'm wearing on them a bit. I have that effect.
Nonsense, I've said nothing but nice things about you.
You can only say so much, and then they meet me, and it all kind of...
I thought I was charming and had a way with people.
You could not track your curtain to the Grand Hall. I've seen you do it a couple times. I'm just
Lucius?
I know.
All right. So, let's take this to this king. There are far too many of them these days. Let's take this to this king and work from here for a while. Make ourselves useful. Why is the king... Oh, I thought the king was coming back with you.
No, it's one of those situations where you're going to the same place, but you're not Well, you're going in the same direction, but not necessarily to the same place.
Awareness tests.
He's right behind us, isn't he?
No. He's right behind us.
It's the
Oh,
it's the
God.
Agrius.
I succeeded.
Oh, come on. Why do they hate me?
Beatrice expert roll session.
Oh no!
This has been
My
a
luck.
disaster
Oh, buddy.
from
Oh.
start to finish.
Olwen and Elian, you're pretty sure you hear like a bit of a commotion, like a bit of bustle around the castle. It's not like sudden. It's not like screams or cries or a blow of a trumpet or something. It's just some raised voices and stuff. It's distant from the courtyard.
I'm gonna go investigate.
Yes. I think Owen will go out that way as well, too. Did you hear that?
No.
There's something going on.
Fantastic.
Investigate.
Why would there not be something going on? Let's go.
All right, you see like kind of soldiers all beginning to like move about. Like people are moving in quick, brisk walks from one place to the other. You're passing people in a way that you're like, there's a lot of activity here, and it's not exactly clear what's causing it. It's clear there's not an immediate alarm. Like it doesn't seem to be that sort of panic. It just seems to be like a brisk reaction to something. And
Do
it
I
seems.
see any of the knights from the bandit muster?
Yeah, you pass one of them.
I want to ask them what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, you see Gwilligid. He's passing by you, and he kind of looks up. He's like, "Oh, Salian, yes. We've received orders. King Ninteliad is mustering in Glevum."
Well,
Do I know if they usually support him? Or is this like they're going against Natalia? This doesn't seem likely.
Yeah, you were given the distinct impression that Camelot is an ally and of Ninteliad.
I'm looking for Glevum on the map.
Glevum is where Lucius just rode to in his little vignette. It's just north of Bristol, just north of Great Bridge, where Cadby's capital is.
And where Cornwall last was.
If you're looking for it on this map, I believe the city
I
itself
found
is
it.
it's called Gloucester. Gloucester. Yeah. I hate those names.
I know.
Okay,
It's a tasty cheese, though.
that's fair. All right. We'll kind of zoom out there, but I'm going to do one last thing. One more thing. Beatrice and Owen, sight test, please.
Come on, sight. We can. You've been my only one.
Can I roll
Please.
sight?
I
Which
succeeded.
Beatrice?
I
Okay.
succeeded.
We got a pass. In this case, Alien, do you have any loyalty to these two?
Loyalty to who?
To Olwen or Beatrice?
Yes.
Okay, you can test
I
that.
have listened to Olwen.
You
No
can
one has loyalty to me.
test that. Okay.
17.
Beatrice, give me a divination roll.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it's worth noting for Cyber what is your relationship to this group now? Why do you stay with them?
We are allies. We are maybe friends. Found family. Potentially, kind of grow to being like a found family. I would say that.
Roll 3d6. Okay.
11.
You can add to your passions love gathering of branches, or love GOB. And we'll assume it's not that
GOB.
Canadian pop punk band. So
It is done.
okay, and then roll that.
Yeah, and I succeeded just after making it too. My luck returns.
Incredible.
You had luck this run.
You love us.
You love us
love
so
us.
much. We're gonna be inseparable. from now on.
Oh.
Okay, all of you find yourselves. This will be in the future. We won't elaborate on it. But Beatrice did pass sight. So we'll kind of do it from Beatrice's perspective. You find yourself in front of a very big bonfire. And you see two figures ahead. Close to it. They seem to be talking. And then one of them seems to fade away. And you realize that you're in the realm of dreams, but you're here not on your own accord. Like this is not your own divination. Yeah. And you
I didn't hear some of that. It paused. I didn't hear a significant portion of it.
Okay. Did everyone not hear it? Did my screen?
No.
It was me.
No, it sounds like others didn't hear it too, right?
Yeah, I didn't hear it
Yeah, I
either.
didn't hear it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you stand in front of this scene. You realize that you're not here on your own accord. That something's brought you here. You are in the realm of dreams. You've been here before. You see this large bonfire, and one of the two figures ahead seems to almost like kind of fade into nothing. And it's just the one staring at the bonfire. And you look behind you and you see Olwen and Elian and Lucius. All of you equally confused as to why the hell you're here.
I walk towards the figure.
You see Morgan. She looks surprised to see you. Well then. Seems I'm not the only one that found my way here. I still don't understand how this happens.
Yeah, I don't understand either. Who are you talking to?
An old friend.
Care to elaborate?
You hear just you, Beatrice. You hear that voice again in the distance. Hello? Is anyone there?
She'll turn her head to look where she assumes it's coming from.
Yeah. Morgan says, you hear him too.
Who is he?
It's Akelon. I know that voice.
He's alive, then.
She raises a brow as if trying to determine whether that was a question or a statement.
I've seen him. And I tried to bring him with me when I cast something and I did not succeed.
I'm sorry
But
to
if
hear
you-
about your homeland, she says, changing the subject briefly.
You know, the worst of it is that I didn't really care for the land. I cared about my life, my house, my child, my husband.
Then you should stay clear of there.
Oh, yes. You care about him, Akalon. And he's in love with you. He told me you talked to him.
It's different. And what was that? that was right
He's
back. I was
our
like,
dream.
Yeah.
The dream world.
Yeah.
I was like, Bob broke out the voice changer again.
Magic.
It's different when my whole life everything was given to me. Everyone looked at me as first the Duke's daughter and then the Queen's daughter, the King's daughter, the Queen's wife, or the King's wife. It's different when someone can see more than that. Like you all have. She looks and then she looks confused. She looks at she peers, like squints almost like she can't see Olwen or Elian or Lucius, but like there's some kind of notice there, but it's not like a look of recognition.
I know what you mean.
Do you know what they're doing here, Beatrice?
No, unfortunately. But they are people. Well, Lady Owen, Sir Elian, and a Romanite named Sir Lucius. But no, I don't know why they're here. I don't know why any of us are here.
They're hunting your kind, Beatrice. Our kind. And
I
they're
know.
putting them to the flame.
That's why I don't want to go back. I have 2 girls and my daughter under my care. Olwen wants to find somewhere, but I can never go back. I knew that when we left.
I don't even think they care if they have the sight or not. If they're practicing pagans, they've been put to the torch.
Is it better where you are?
It is.
And if I brought my daughter to you?
I would, of course, look after her, but it's not required. So long as you're far away from Summerland. So far away from Cornwall.
Should I come north if I need to flee?
Should you need to flee, you'll always be welcome in our kingdom.
There is the matter of the boy.
She raises a brow.
What will you do about Akalon? He's somewhere. Or would you like me to find him for you?
If you're capable. I don't know.
That is the real question lately, unfortunately.
She kind of does like a... The only one I know that knows a great deal about this is Nineveh.
I don't know how to contact them.
Me either.
Funny, we
But-
resented them and now we can't ask them anything.
What I do have is a kingdom, Beatrice. If you should need me to send riders out in search of her.
I don't think anything's a bad plan.
I will seek her.
Do you need help with anything? Well, we can speak for a little while.
All is well here, but things are changing. This island seems to be preparing for something, and the kings all seem to know it.
I can see what I can find out. Ninteliad seems to like us well enough. We're currently in the court of another king, so...
The armies in the north are stirring. I suspect we will be in war soon.
Do you know with who?
No, that's more my sister's focus.
Let me know if you find out if we end up here again.
I will. And
I hope-
sorry, go ahead.
I hope your family as well. You had a boy the last time I spoke to you.
Wayne is growing. And your daughter?
Growing and a lot more even-tempered than I ever was.
I look forward to seeing her someday.
Might be sooner than you think.
And with that, we will close the episode. Why don't we do some quick outros, folks? We are away next week, so we'll pick up from there with your immediate follow-up activities.
Woo!
All right, so let's start with Rebecca.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I played Lady Owen, and I do this here. But I'm also part of a very cool vampire game over on the Cat's Meow. They do a lot of really fun stuff, and yeah, real fun vampire games in the Dark Ages on the Isle of Man. And I won't go into the rest, as there's other people who can plug that if they wish. But yeah, go check them out. Go join our Discord. We share memes and announce when we go live, and it's just a great community that if you are so inclined, you should join and be a part of. We also have our entire backlog of the games we play on Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday that are a lot of fun. Plenty of content. So, yeah.
Thanks. Emily.
Hi, I'm Emily. I played Beatrice, and I got a success at the end. I had 2 crits, total failures, and a success. So I got some glory out of it.
Good to hear. Nicole.
I'm Nicole. I played Sarah Elian. Still quite lost, but at least getting by. And just a reminder, on our Discord, there is Open Pendragon, which is, from my understanding, essentially a drop-in. So that's pretty popular if you want to try playing Pendragon yourself. You can check in there and talk to Bob.
Awesome, thanks. And Cyberbro.
Well, hello, I'm Cyberbro. I play Sir Lucius Julius Julianus. Grieving a family member's loss, and I get promoted. So ups and downs, that's life.
Awesome, thanks. And I'm Bob. We do Summerland Enchantment on Tuesday nights, and then we have connected games aside from our drop-in Pendragon. We have Nintelia's Legacy on Fridays and Salisbury Anarchy on Sundays. And if you paid attention enough, you probably heard reference to both those names and some of those people. So the world is connected. We're moving right along through the Age of Anarchy, which is a period in the Great Pendragon sort of timeline that most people fizzle out. Most campaigns seem to fizzle out in this. Which, to be fair, that's like already like probably a year or two of playing for most groups, so that's fair. But yeah, if you're interested, I encourage you to come back for more. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
We're built different.
Hey.
Lucius loves us.
He does love us.
He likes
He
us
loves
so
us.
much.